Hey guys, the topic of this video is watch what you say to yourself. Negative self-talk. I want to reference this just by telling a little brief story. Stay with me. I feel like you'll get something out of it. There was a doctor there in our country, in Pensacola, Florida, actually. I don't want to mention his name because of what I'm probably going to say sounds kind of funny. I don't mean to be making no fun of the doctor. But here's the thing. This is a very renowned professional in substance abuse education in our country. And I guess he, like everybody else, is looking for the truth, looking for whatever his version of the truth in his journey was. So this fellow went off over here somewhere to another country and did some serious meditation with some kind of yoga. I don't know who he was. I don't know anything about it. And that's really not the gist of this. But it leads into what I'm saying to you, and we're going to talk about. When this young man came back, this doctor, uh, I happened chance to meet him at a conference, and during lunch we had a chance to sit down and have lunch together. Now, the topic of his conference, his speech at the conference, had to do with this meditative journey that he went on. And basically, what I'm trying to say about this is, I was looking at that fella, and he seemed like he had about, I don't know, good six or eight volume in him. I mean, I ain't never seen anybody in my life that was so calm, just had a smile, just wore it like putting on his clothes. I reckon he just wore it. This sense of contentment and just wonderment and with the world and the universe. Now, I'm not proposing that we get off to that point, but here's uh, uh, the essence of what this young man stated in his speech. Basically, we are interconnected in the universe. I mean, you've heard this before. People say, I'll put it out there in the universe and we'll see what happens. Well, if you buy into the notion that at the very core of our existence, that we're atoms and whatever else we're made of, dirt, whatever iron, whatever chemicals and neurons and electrical neurons and atoms and whatever else is in our DNA makeup, and that we are a small part of that universe, and that it's kind of like, best way I can describe it is like taking a bowling ball, and you're not having a lot of experience, and you roll that ball down the alley there, and it might roll off kind of slow, and then it might drift off to a gutter, be a gutter ball, or it might roll on slowly, and it might stop there right at the pins, or it might hit one pin, knock them over, or you might get lucky and make a strike. Who knows? So our thoughts are kind of like that bowling ball. When we put them out there in the universe, they're going to go in a direction that we send them, uh, directly in proportion with the energy that we attach to them when we send them out. Now, I don't really understand all I know about this. I just do know that people, by happenstance, don't tend to live beyond their expectations. So, being aware of negative self-talk, being aware of being involved with people that are constantly putting you down and negating any good qualities about you. But mainly this is for yourself, because that self-talk that we got ingrained in us back early on still has a bearing. I mean, that stuff buried deep, and it doesn't just go away when you snap your finger. It's still there, and we constantly have to deal with it. But our responsibility in recovery, once we get to a point that we're able to understand that it's not, it's not my fault that, my mailbox got filled up with all this negative garbage. I mean, it's not. I mean, blame about useless tits on a hog now, on a boar hog to be exact. It's not of any benefit. So what can we do now? Be aware that our negative self-talk generally leads us to an outcome that's not going to be productive, because if I'm going to get up there and bat a ball, and I've already kind of got in my mind I'm going to strike out before I get up there, there's a real good chance I'll strike out, because I am probably not going to live beyond my expectations, but up to my expectations. Now, whether or not these expectations are realistic or not, that's not what I'm trying to get into here. What I'm trying to get into and get you to understand is that our negative self-talk, the things we tell ourselves, if you ever went out to do something or going to do something and thought of 10 reasons why not to do it before you went out to do it. Well, it's raining outside, my big toe hurts, they're probably not going to be interested in what I got to say when I go there anyway. Whatever it is that we put in front of us that we think about in our mind to make a decision to do or not do, the negative self-talk is what we need to address and what we need to be constantly challenging. Let's take just one thing. I can't do this. Well, I want to propose to you that can't is nothing more than, let's substitute that for choose not to, or I won't. Let's substitute that will not do. Once you make that change in mindset about your behaviors and who has control over them, then you begin to understand that you can modify your behavior. Like I can't do something. That's a victim mentality. It implies that we're helpless and we just it's beyond our control. And I reckon there may be cases where things are beyond our control. Indeed, most things are beyond our control. But what's not beyond our control is how we perceive it and deal with it. So acceptance of responsibility, this can't being transitioned into I choose not to, puts the responsibility on me to do something different. And if I don't want to do it, then I got to say, well, I just choose not to do it. It ain't I can't do it anymore. I choose not to do it. So negative self-talk is something that we consciously and subconsciously carry out throughout the day, throughout our daily activities, and probably don't even give it much thought. I mean, it's just, after a while, remember, repetitive habits and behaviors over a period of time, they become ingrained in us, and it's just there, and that's how we act. So the purpose of this is really just to say, be aware that you can change your thoughts, and that negative self-talk is nothing but defeating behavior that's going to interfere with any goals or outcomes that you desire. You're the only one that has any control over this. You're the one that has to accept the responsibility for this. You have to come up with an effective plan to change your mindset. Again, I want to go back to this little thing about daily affirmations. if you program yourself constantly with positive feedback, uh, then after a while, you're going to start to believe it. Just like the negative self-talk. If you are constantly barraged with that over and over and over and over again, after a while, you're going to come to believe it. Now, not to confuse when I said avoid people that have negative viewpoints toward you. Uh, Constructive criticism and negative, just negative bashing, if you will, are two different things. We need to be open to constructive criticism if we want to grow. Um, Again, there was a saying that I heard, and I don't know who said it, but basically what it means is this: a person who won't be corrected can't be corrected, chooses not to be corrected. You know, some of the tennis greats in the world, some of the football players, all these great athletes, they have a coach, and the coach pushes them beyond what they believe their limits are. And the coach is an outside influence or a spectator that can look at that performance of that athlete or that person and offer suggestions to make it better. So if we aren't teachable, then we're not going to be able to learn to do anything different than what we've been doing. So think about what I said. Negative self-talk is going to come up with a negative outcome, and that if we want to do something different, do something better, we got to choose to do it. That's about enough for this little short video. I want to say like and subscribe to the channel. Good night wherever you are, and God bless.